Top of the morning. Quick story light. It's early in the morning, it's raining. Well, it ain't raining no more, but it feel good out, you know what I'm saying? It got a nice little cool breeze. It ain't gonna be too hot. Ain't gonna be too cold out here. Cause it been cold out here in Florida. Florida got a different cold. Like, it's got a wet cold, weird cold. Excuse me, when the wind blow, it be cutting your face up and all that. But yeah. Quick story, like, I just want to ask a question. Have you ever seen your guardian angel? You know what I'm saying? This is a story of when I seen my guardian angel, one of my guardian angels, and I've dealt with different people on a spiritual level. I've met different people. I'm pretty open-minded. You know what I'm saying? And I got verified by somebody else that, you know what I'm saying? So I'm pretty sure some of y'all have seen your guardian angels. You probably don't tell nobody nothing, you know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to sound crazy, nothing like that. But in this story, I was in the county jail in 33rd, Orlando, Florida, in Horizon building on the 4th floor. And my roommate happened to be an Indian. And he was an Indian from Minnesota or some shit like that. He wasn't from Orlando. And I remember he had the paw mark on him. You know what I'm saying? For y'all bloods, y'all know what it is, you know what I'm saying? And I think the Crips even use the paw mark too. But, you know, at this time, it was it's bloods, you know what I'm saying? Because there was a lot of bloods going around. So he had the paw mark on him. He didn't have no shirt on. He had them on both of his chest, like, you know what I'm saying? But it looked like it was burnt, you know what I mean? So I was like, so they moved me in a cell. You know, when you move in different cells, you start looking around, seeing what it is, you know what I mean? So I seen he had a shirt off, he had a paw, so I asked him if he was a blood. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to see if he banging, what type of roommate I got. So he's like, nah. So I was like, nah, so what you got the paw mark for? So then he told me, you know, the long story of what it was, and his tribe, when he was a kid, they cut. That's when he told me he was an Indian. He's like, nah, I'm Indian. And I'm like, Indian? He's like, yeah. So he started breaking it down. He said they cut like a line on top, a line, 2 lines on the bottom, and they stick a cherry stick through their skin when they become like 13 or some shit like that. They become a man. They're considered a man. They stick a cherry stick through their chest like that, and they tie it, the string, like it'd be like, right, they cut it, they slide stick through it, slide the stick through it two times on the bottom, tie a string to it and tie it to a tree, and they're supposed to back up, and they chanting or whatever they do, and until your skin pops and breaks, and that's your introduction to manhood. So I was like, what? So he was just telling me the stories, all that, woo, woo, woo. When it would rain, he would chant. It was weird, right? He would chant. Because he said, I guess his God was like the thunder or lightning or something like that. So he would chant, and that's when, and then, you know, we would just kick it and shit. So when we locked down, we just telling stories and shit, you know, you're doing time, you're bidding, you're trying to make time go by. So I'm telling him a story one day. And behind me, you can't get in my cell. Our cells and Horizon, it's like all glass windows. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole front of the cell is all glass window. You got a door, but it's pretty much a big ass piece of glass, and you know, you can see other cells. Y'all can all see each other type shit. So our cells closed, we locked down, telling him a story. When I'm telling him the story, I'm like, yeah, he's laying down on the bottom bunk. He had the bottom bunk, I had the top bunk. It's 3 bunks. And the other bunk was empty. It was just me and him. So you got 2 top bunks and 1 bottom bunk. And so I got my back to the door, and I'm talking to him. We're chopping it up. I'm telling him a story, excuse me. And out of the corner of my periphery of my eye, at the corner of my eye, like behind me, like right behind me, I see like somebody standing there, but it's like a hologram. Cause I go like this and I look, and I see somebody standing there, but I can see through them, but they're in color. If that makes any sense to you, you know what I'm saying? Like there would be like this yellow shirt, but I can see through it. You feel me? It was color. You know what I'm saying? But I could see through. So the description of what I saw was this. It was somebody tall. He was standing with his arms like this, and you can see like the definition of his muscles and all that. He had strings tied around here that was draping down, he had like no shirt on, and he had like a little skirt thing, I don't know, like little Indian thing that they wear, and he had big ass boots, like moccasin boots, and he had strings hanging down from his kneecaps down too. And he was bald headed, and he had a hair right here. He had hair right here with a long braid going down his back. So when I look and I see that, I said, "Oh shit!" And I jumped from where I was at. Like I just leaped towards the other side of the cell. And he looked like, what? You know what I'm saying? So I told him, "Yo, you seen that?" And he's like, "Nah." I said, "You ain't see that?" And he's like, "Nah." He's like, "What?" And I break it down to him what I seen. He's like, "Yo, don't start telling people you seen shit in here, cause you know what I'm saying, they're gonna make you go psych, nigga." You know what I mean? So he trying to joke, but I was like, "Nah, I'm dead serious, bro." Like, and then he was like, "Yo, that's you." He said, "I bet you it was your height, right? Same height as you?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "That's you in your past life. That was your guardian angel." He said, "You describe what you're describing as an Indian warrior." You know what I'm saying? That was he whatever tribe he's from, he was a warrior. And that was you in your past life. That's your guardian angel. He's like, you scared him. You'll probably never see him again. So I was like, I scared him. Shit, that nigga scared me. You know what I'm saying? He said if you would have stood calm, he would have just stood there. Like you would have been able to see him or whatever. But since I screamed or whatever and I jumped, it disappeared. And he said it probably never exposed himself to me again or whatever. But I always thought about that. I was like, damn, man. So years go by. I was working in a 7-Eleven because I had caught a charge, and they gave me like a 3-year probation with an early termination if I did this drug program probation thing, and I finished it. I did a video on it over here. So I had to get a job, and I had to do a bunch of stuff in the daytime for this probation, so it had to be an overnight job. And I got at 7-Eleven. My man's hooked me up. I didn't even get to do an interview or nothing. They just told me show up and start working. So hey, you know what I mean? That's what I was doing. So this guy comes in dressed in all white, and if you was Santeria, you know they do all white when they first getting into it. So I asked him, I was like, "Oh, no," and he was like, "Nah, I did that in '86." You know what I'm saying? I went through that in '86. I was like, "Where's why you wearing all white?" You know what I mean? So he's like, "There's a lot of bad energy in the world right now. There's a lot of things going on in this world right now, and I'm trying to deflect that energy off. So I'm trying to keep it off me. So that's why I'm wearing all white." So I was like, "Word." So we started talking and all that. This dude started telling me stuff about me that it was crazy. You know what I mean? But he told me. He said, "Yo, you got a guardian angel watching you." He said, "You got 2 people watching you. One of them is an Indian." When he said that, my hair, I don't know this guy, bro. And when I was locked up with the Indian kid was like over 10 years ago, probably 12, 13, some shit years ago. So I was like, what? And he's like, "Yeah, you got an Indian behind you. He speaks this language." He told me the language they speak. He's from the strongest warriors, tribal warriors in the Indian, whatever, I guess. You know, he was like, "Yo, it's from the strongest tribe of warriors." He said, "My Indian is from that tribe, my guardian angel." And he was like, "They don't speak English, they speak this language." And he was like, "That's who, that's one of your guardian angels." He said, "You also have somebody that overdosed on drugs that's with you." And I think I might know who that is. You know what I'm saying? I got a few people that happen to, but he said they're with you and they're protecting you. You know what I'm saying? And he started breaking a whole bunch of stuff down about, you know what I'm saying, like my life and shit. And he was like, "Yo, you used to have long hair. You had long braids. You have he said you have a capoeira fighting style. He said, you're a warrior. You was a warrior in your past life." Yo, he just started breaking all this shit down. He said, "You could rap. You know how to do music. You know how to do," he said, you drum and dance. This and that. All this stuff he was breaking down, man. I was like, damn, that was crazy, you know, about me and stuff like that. And even somewhere where I was gonna go that week, he told me, you know what I'm saying? So it was kind of crazy. And it was confirmation that my guardian angel is an Indian and was a warrior. And everybody that I come across, no matter what religion it is, they always say that I was a warrior in my past life. So I don't know if you believe in that type of stuff, but just a little story I wanted to share with y'all. And I wanted to ask y'all, man, let me know in the comments, have you ever seen your guardian angel? Y'all know what it is, man. We all gas, no brakes. If you ain't gonna be good, be safe. And y'all know what it is, man. You know what they say, right? The love is fake and the hate is real. So, you know what I'm saying? You gotta watch out who's close to you, you heard? Peace.